Welcome to episode 11 of Box Score Sports. I'm Minnie.
I'm Ski. I'm Gavin.
Bird's behind the camera. We got just one interview
interview
coming
this week.
It's gonna be a really good interview.
It's gonna be a very good interview. Do not miss out.
No.
It's a lengthy one too.
Yep.
Very good one.
Very in detail.
Very
It's
in
gonna be
detail.
very fun to watch. You can't
Very
miss
fun
it.
one.
Yeah. Well, let's hop right into it.
Let's go.
Alrighty, we are now joined by this year's Class A Coach of the Year, former pro basketball player, BBE teacher, and coach. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Anderson.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
for sure.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's just get a little bit started. You know, how's coaching going? How's teaching going?
How was coaching going?
How
was
was
coaching?
coaching? I should say that.
Well, first off, coaching was it was great. It was a dream season, something that doesn't occur often. You know, going to the state tournament, but it's always a goal. It's always a team goal to get to that state run. You know, getting there was special, and there was a lot of obstacles, road bumps, growth along the way. But as far as teaching, teaching is great. We live in the dream in the FIAD world.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
have Mr. Goodwin on staff this year, so it's great to add him to the department. But no, it's a lot of fun. We have great kids here at school, great students. The community is wonderful. So we got to experience that firsthand this season with our state deal. Got a little bit more exposure with the community, and it was great just to see all the fan support down at Williams Arena.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, speaking of the state tournament, I mean, just like talk it through the experience and all that. I mean, how fun was it?
It was all new. It was all new to me as a person. You know, as a player in my younger years, a long time ago, I never made it to the state tournament. You know, so it was very special to make it as a coach and to see our players go through that, see the experience there. But it started off with the school pep fest. That was really neat. The high school, and then we got to go over the elementary, talk about two different vibes. As far as energy goes, with the high school and the elementary, those elementary kids are bouncing off the wall. So it was fun to see that on both sides. And then the send off was neat, driving through the community, people waving and excited as the bus goes by. Then getting down there, as we went down, we got to stop at St. John's University and have a little shoot around, which was cool. Get the players on a college floor. Which is a little bit different. You know, the length is a little bit longer with the three-point line on there. The college three is longer than the high school three, so there can be some confusion when high school kids play on the college floor. They all want to shoot, they all want to bomb. You know, and to put that arc down, they're bombing even further.
Right.
But no, it was good for the kids to get on that the college floor. And then we went down and we had a team meal, and we got to Williams Arena, and we got down there early just to kind of get the when you walk into something that's special, you kind of get that I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, the persona,
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It felt good walking in there.
yeah, you
knowing
kind of
that-
you want to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
That awe of everything.
Yeah.
So we got down there, watched the game, and then it was game time for us. And I thought our guys played really well that first night.
Getting it out of the way.
Really fun.
All right. So just describe how your season went this year.
Yeah. You know, basketball is a long season, and we knew we had something special though coming into this season. We had a tough summer. I mean, as far as like we try to pump our games up, the competition level. So we started. I think to me it started there, and getting those hard teams, those challenging teams on our summer schedule, kind of gave us a little preview of what we're going to experience, and. We did well this past summer. We competed with everybody. We got many great compliments from other coaches, and the funny thing is, looking back, is we played Hayfield our last tournament of the summer, our last game, and that wasn't a breakdown tournament, the state title tournament actually, and we played Hayfield, and I think we lost by.
Wasn't by much.
It was by 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Yeah.
It came down to the very end again.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was kind of a neat thing looking back. But getting back to our season, you know, we started off with a challenging schedule. We were 7-3 going into Christmas,
About that,
something
yeah.
like that.
I think so. Yep.
but we had we lost some close games. We lost some close games to some big schools, the 2A schools. Lost on a buzzer beater, so we just had some adversity right away. January 20th was a big date for us. That's when we returned to Ashton. The godfather of our basketball school. But but getting back to Ashton went through a lot of stuff on his own, with his knee injuries and things like that. So it was challenging as a coaching staff. We didn't know what we were going to get. We didn't get a lot of time to practice with Ashton on the court, so our chemistry wasn't there, even though he's played with us for many years. So it's always a challenging piece when you get a player coming back, especially a scorer, because that can change up things, But our guys adapted very well, and so did Ashton. And that January 20th, we played Painesville at Painesville, tough conference opponent, and we beat them by 31.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, we were like, wow, we got something really special here as a coaching staff. And so it was our job as a coaches to get the best out of our kids we possibly could. And, along the way came some challenges, some headbutting, like, any sport you're going to have. You're going to have that with players and coaches. So we had that a little bit, and we got through it. And but we had some huge wins along the way. We beat Cass Lake Bena, who was a state-ranked team. We beat Nevis, a state-ranked team. Mountain Iron Buell, who was right in the mix of a state-ranked team. Huge win against Atsock Center. So, we had some big teams. We had a quality loss at end of our season to Hancock. Lost on the buzzer again. So we had a few buzzer beater losses. Those are always heartbreaking, but there's a ton you can learn from those losses.
For sure.
And so in the playoffs, things got really wild. We had a first round game against Benson, took care of it. Could have lost. Could have, should have, would have. Possibly. In that you're in a game like against KMS, who's a very, very good team, and we were very nervous going into that game as a coaching staff. This might be the game. Whoever wins this one might win the section. That's what we were thinking as a staff. And it was kind of one of those games for us that was kind of back and forth all game. We just couldn't get going.
Right.
And a lot of credit to KMS for putting us in that situation. Down 5 with under a minute left. We make 2 threes, get a stop, and we advance. Find a way to win. Finding a way to win, and that's what we did. So we persevered through that, and then we played Hancock again, and that was a huge game for our guys. We were up, we were locked in, and we absolutely full throttle right from the start. Full throttle, never look back. That advances to New York Mills, and they're a scary team. We have a great player, and that went down to the wire. We had a great lead, lost it, and just about lost the game. But again, persevered through it. And I think our leadership, our veterans brought us through that game into that moment and advanced us on to the state.
I know where I stand on this, but take us through the moment, what was going through your head when that final buzzer went off against New York Mills and we were going to state. What are you feeling?
I don't know if there's one word I can describe it with. It just so happy. I guess happy, sad. It's an emotion. I get emotional with things. I don't know. Many people probably won't guess that, but I'm a pretty sensitive dude, and I just get so proud of our guys because we challenge them a lot as coaches. We expect a lot out of them as coaches. We never want to be mediocre. Right. We always want to raise that bar. And our guys answered and found a way to advance. So just hearing that horn go off and seeing our guys rush the floor in excitement made it, that's the why. I guess that's the why we coach. That's one of the many whys. Just an emotional moment for me.
Very good moment. So, take us through, with how the seniors have been leaders this year. There's a lot of very good seniors on this team.
Yeah, we had 6 seniors this season, and they're all unique in their own ways. They're great kids on and off the floor, and they've been through the highs and the lows of our program. And we've had years in our program where we're fighting to get into double-digit wins. And that doesn't say that we're not talented or anything. Right, yeah. It just it just says we have a lot of room to grow, but we always give everything we have, and that's one thing I attribute to our seniors. They give everything they have in practice, in the weight room, and on the court. And I've just been pleased throughout their careers of what they've accomplished.
Sure.
All right. So what all went into being named Class A Coach of the Year?
With having great assistants,
Yeah.
Having great assistant coaches, having players that buy in, that work hard, that don't want to be average, and just coming to work each day and trying to do your best and trying to improve little by little. And my wife is a great coach in herself, and she's had a lot of success in the girls' side of things. And, sometimes you just, as a coach, I have to step away and just watch what she's doing. How is she getting there? What is working for her? And not afraid to stop learning. And we're always learning. And I think that's one thing that late in my career, or not late, I'm not like that old yet, but I'm old. But, as I'm getting older, I'm looking back to my younger years as a coach to where I'm at right now. I think in my younger years, I would have thought I had all the answers. I knew it all. Right. I have it all figured out. Right. When really I have nothing figured out. I have to approach each season like it's a new one, and I have to figure out how are we going to get to our best, and what's that going to take. And I contribute a lot of this to my parents, especially my dad. He's a complete psycho, when it comes to basketball, and you guys have probably seen him at the court and the gym and stuff. But he's always challenging me and throwing ideas at me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Turning back the clock a little bit, what was your high school basketball career like?
As far as like winning and losing, or just as a player?
As a player, how did you enjoy it?
I love playing basketball. I still love to play basketball, right. and it was a lot of growing up.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of growing up. As when I was 17, 18, I had a little bit different situation than I think what you guys have. I grew up in Forest Lake, and it's about half hour outside of Minneapolis, St. Paul. And I actually transferred schools, and I know I'm going to make a lot of people upset when I say this, but I actually transferred to a private school, okay? And the reason why was my dad was coaching there, okay? It's not like I, went there to, but no. So I went to a private school called Benilde St. Margaret's, and that's in St. Louis Park. So when I say it's a little bit different than probably your situation is every day I had to drive with a good friend of mine. We had to drive to school every day and drive back from school. And there was times when the weather wasn't good, or it was a late night with basketball or something, we'd stay at my aunt's house. So it's kind of like we got ready for college. We had to grow up on our own. We weren't home at night sometimes. So that made us grow up. Had some fun times. And getting back to high school, a lot of friendships were made through basketball, right. and the basketball world, and that are still friends today. Not from just all over the place, and it's fun to run into those people. And right. In fact, getting back to Williams Arena, I ran into a lot of people that I haven't seen since high school or college, and it was great to see them and connect and just touch base again.
Oh yeah, it's definitely good.
But get another one with high school. You can edit this out. I'm not going to swear or anything, but. I never got the chance to go to the state tournament. Right. I knew what it was like when I heard that final buzzer go off as a senior, and we lost to Minneapolis Henry. We never got that. I never got that opportunity. So I knew what it was like as a player when that horn goes off and you don't reach your goal. You don't reach that goal of getting to state, and how emotional and hurt that was. So it brings me back to the guys that I coach is. Seeing that horn go off, seeing the excitement in their eyes, seeing what they know they're going to go to the big dance. They know they punched their ticket. So, living through them a little bit was fun.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what were some of your favorite moments for basketball, either as a player or a coach or anything like that?
As a coach, some of my favorite moments. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, do you want me to get like specific with games, or do you want me to? I guess one of my favorite moments recently was we're in Williams Arena. We're underneath in the Gophers locker room. We're walking up to the court and knowing we have a game, and then it's walking up those stairs. There's something about walking up those stairs to that arena as it opens up, hearing the crowd, seeing people you know, and then walking up on that elevated floor. It was just a different vibe to everything, and it kind of like it was one of the more special moments, I guess, in my coaching career, seeing all that happen. And but once the tip went off, once warm up started, it was a game. Like nothing, all that disappeared. Everything went black and dark, and it was just another game of game of coaching. Some other special moments, I guess. All these players go through things on their own in different ways as far as challenges and overcoming obstacles. Things aren't always easy, and seeing these kids grow, seeing the players I coach grow, that's a big part of it. When they come into our program, and then seeing them leave is hard, but seeing them leave as better people is so important, and it's keeping those lifelong friendships, even though we have moments when we're players and coaches where we don't want to talk to each other, and my players probably tell me they want to say things to me that aren't the best, or they're upset with me, and that's okay. And it's not easy to do at the moment, but it's okay. At the end of the day, it's all right, and that's growing. I guess another thing with coaching boys, I don't have to coach against my wife anymore. Like I did at Melrose. Yeah. She was coaching the girls, I was coaching the girls, and that was awkward. But that's once in a lifetime deal. Right. So that was a special moment, I guess. But I also like to see Christina on the girls' side. I like to see her do well, and she's done a great job with her program. For sure. And she's not making me say stuff like this or paying me or anything, But really, though, she's been an inspiration for me, and she's had nothing but success. She's turned that program around, and she's gone to state 2 out of the last 3 years here.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right, what's a day in the life of a college basketball player? I would say it's like a high school player times 10. Your body. It's well. First off, you're doing it because you love it. Right. You're playing college because you love it. But it's going to break you down. It's going to break. You think high school breaks it down? It doesn't even come close at the college level. It's mental, emotional, physical. But it's fun. It's fun. I mean, you're on your own. You get to go back with your boys after the end of the day's practice. You get to go back to your dorm or your house or wherever you're living. You don't have parents around. You can do your thing. You go to class and you go to practice, and you have fun. And you get to travel around. You get to travel around and compete at the collegiate level and have fans, cheer you on, and your family, and it's really fun. But it's a job. It's a job. You have preseason, you have postseason, you have weight training, you have training room because you're going to get injured. Hopefully, I went through a lot of injuries, and that's not fun. No. But you learn to get through things, which gets you ready for life. But end of the day, I would do it all over again, and I wish I could. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What was it like playing pro ball when you did that?
Special.
Yeah. Very
special. It feels like everything you work for, you get rewarded.
Paying off.
Yeah. And I don't know. My journey was short. It was very short lived. I only had one season doing it. But I guess that first day, finding out you're going to go play was very special and rewarding. I remember telling my dad on the phone. He just started crying, and
then it's like, is this a dream? You know, you feel like you're dreaming.
Right.
And, I mean, you guys can edit this out. I don't feel like I'm bragging here. I'm just going to
Oh,
keep
no.
going.
Yep.
I'm just going
Going, yeah.
to kind
Keep
of
going.
black
Keep
out
going.
here.
Whatever you say,
Okay.
yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. No, I was out. Here's how it went down for me. It was, I was working at a job. I was at a group home, so I was working with special needs kids.
Yep.
And I got a phone call, and it was from the owner of a team in Wellington, New Zealand.
Okay.
And then it was, hey, we want you to come play. And I was, at that moment in my life, I was done playing college. I sent out film to all these different agents and teams and trying to get tryouts, and things just didn't work out. I kind of tweaked my foot a little bit, and I was kind of down and out, and
Right.
kind of gave up on the dream. I was kind of
Right.
like, well, here, I'm going to go teach and
Right.
go that route. But then I got a call out of the blue, and I don't know why or how or whatever, it just happened. And that's the amazing thing. And that's why it was so special for me. So then I called my dad right away, and it wasn't like I had a month or 2 months to prepare. It was like, I'm leaving, you're leaving
Right now, yeah.
now.
Yep.
It was a Tuesday, I was leaving on a Thursday.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm in school still, you know. Even though I was done playing, I was finishing up school. So I had to talk to all my professors, and then talk to my job, and obviously I was going to quit, and then figure out how I was going to do this. But I'm going to do it.
Right.
You know, I'm going to jump off and take this chance, this opportunity. It's once in a lifetime to do it.
Yeah.
And got down to Minneapolis airport, got on the plane, flew out to Wellington, which is like a 14-hour flight or something. And then I was like showing up, going to practice right now.
Yep.
You know, we flew out that next day to go play a game, and I thought I was going to just,
Right.
hey, take it in, see what's going on, meet my
Right.
guys.
Yep.
No, here's your jersey.
Right.
Here's what we're going to be running.
Yep.
You're in. What? I'm playing?
Wow.
Yeah, I was playing like on that Friday, you know, so life totally flipped. And, but I'll tell you what, it was such a growing experience being on my own. I was out there, I had a roommate. His name is Nick Horvath. He played at Duke, so Mr. Cloudpox probably loving that. 6'10". This dude was he's a year older than me. He's from Mounds View, which is kind of cool. So he's a Minnesota boy. He was Mr. Basketball in Minnesota. 6'10", absolute beast, and great guy.
Yep.
Great person. And I grew up so much out there because I was on my own in a different country. Luckily, I spoke English. Drove on the wrong side of the road, so that was kind of wild. But it was so neat because we got to fly to every place we play. We got to, you know, had our own plane. They took care of our rent, our board, our food. We had our own car.
Right.
Practiced and enjoyed life, I
Wow.
suppose, you know. So it
Yeah.
was neat.
How much more like advanced was the competition, or like the players from pro ball to college, or college to pro ball?
Good question. Yeah, it was a lot more challenging.
Yeah.
Everyone was more athletic.
Right.
Everyone was bigger. You know, they say
Yeah.
bigger, stronger, faster.
Yeah.
You know, from high school to college. Well, then it went from college
Oh,
to pro.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys were really,
Yeah.
really good athletes, and it was easy to sit back and be like starstruck a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I'm playing against this guy, and I remember seeing him play on TV, and you know. So the way it worked there was in New Zealand, each team got 2 Americans, or they call them imports. You know, each team gets 2, and then the rest of the guys have to be New Zealand residents of some sort. So you had different tier of players. Everyone got paid a little bit different. Some guys had jobs and played, and then some guys were full-time players, and then we worked out. So every day was a workout. I mean, it wasn't like just go play and you're done.
Right.
It was like high school.
Yep.
It was like train in the morning with a personal trainer, lifting weights, cardio session for an hour, go back to your place,
Yep.
sit back, relax, whatever for a couple hours. Then we had to do individual workouts for an hour, sit back and wait, and then we had practice for 2 hours at night. So that was
Wow.
a daily schedule. So I mean, it was like a full-time gig,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was cool, I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
But the athlete, though, the player, yeah, those guys are
Right.
monsters.
I believe that.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Alrighty, who would you say has impacted you most throughout your sports career?
Can I say 2 people?
Yeah, you
Yep,
can.
go for it.
Yeah. My parents, in different ways. You know, I'll start with my mom. She's always been in my corner, always been the voice for me, always telling me, making things simple for me. I guess
Right.
simplifying things. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
I
makes
tend to get all mixed up in my head sometimes, and letting all these voices talk to me as a player, and then I'm not confident or I'm confused. And my mom would always just put things to simplify and just
right.
telling me
Yeah.
I can do it. Be confident in yourself.
Right.
And then my dad, you know, he's always rooting for me, and he sacrificed everything and anything for me and my sister both, to have success in athletics.
Right.
So I guess my parents have always been the role
For
models
sure.
in different ways.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have any mentors growing up?
Mentors,
Yeah.
people I looked up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess a big mentor for me was my elementary FIA teacher. His name is Steve Carr, and Mr. Langer will actually know who he is because
Yep.
Mr. Langer and I grew up together,
Yep.
first grade on. So, yeah, Mr. Carr, he was my teacher. He was fun, and he always challenged me. He's a good friend of mine today, and we still talk often. But he was always someone that always got at my level, or a kid's level, a student's level, and wasn't afraid to be himself and be real. So that was a big person for me. I always looked up to my coaches in high school. I don't know, or growing up, I always felt like they were always above. And like if my coach walked in the door, I was always kind of starstruck, and I always wanted to impress them in some way. And that was like in elementary on, you know, and so I would say my coaches and my elementary FIA teacher.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would you tell the younger you?
The younger me.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a deep question. The younger
That's
me.
fine. Yeah.
Not to put too much pressure on myself. Things will work out the way they should, as long as you're doing the work.
Yeah.
If you give your best effort, everything you have, things will work out.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe not work out the way you want, but there's always a hidden message in failing, or whatever you want to call it. But just to relax and let things happen, and believe in yourself.
Sure. It's good.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, I don't think we have any more questions.
Yeah, that was good.
That was a very good interview. Thank you very
Did I
much.
do all right? Was the time all right?
Awesome.
Awesome. Very
That was
good.
real good.
Thank you very much.
I didn't start
for-
crying, so that was good. I could have teared up there a few times, but
All right. Well,
But yeah,
thank you for.
We appreciate you
guys,
coming.
thanks
to
a
do
lot.
this.
Thank
It
you.
was fun.
All right. Thank you.